Hi, in this video, we're going to be talking about the Malekal 2024 Rescue and Recovery USB Toolkit. So this is another one of these USB toolkits you can create to help you diagnose and repair your computer. So as you can see on their website here, it's similar to Medicat, Hiren's Boot CD, Gandalf PE, and so on. So we've done a video on Medicat and the NHV Boot Toolkit. So if you want to check those out because they're very similar. So a lot of these toolkits work in the same way and have a lot of the same tools, but the main differences are going to be, what tools they have and, what kind of systems they will run on because some of them will only run on newer systems, with UEFI instead of BIOS. So keep that in mind. So this one should run on BIOS or UEFI systems. So let's kind of look at the site real quick. Then we're going to show you how to create the flash drive and then we'll boot into it and see what it does. All right, so here are some of the utilities on the live USB. We have our disk and check disk health tools. A lot of these might look familiar, like Crystal Disk Info and Macaroon Reflect. File recovery software, such as Recova, Shadow Copy View, Shadow Explorer. Password recovery tools. Hardware testing and diagnostic, such as Passmark and MemTest64. Hardware information like CPU-Z, HW monitor. Network tools like AnyDesk, OpenVPN, TeamViewer, system tools such as Device Manager, Disk Management. Then we have some other tools here as well. All right, so all you need to do is download the ISO file, and it is quite large. So I have it here. So it is a 4.6 gigabyte file. So you're going to have a flash drive that it will fit on, which would be pretty much any flash drive these days. All right, so you could use your favorite flash drive creation tool to create this bootable flash drive, but for our example, we're going to be using good old-fashioned Rufus here. So I have the portable edition here, so there's nothing to install. So it's the P at the end, so we'll just double-click it here. Say yes to the UIC prompt. And then we're going to skip the updates for now by saying no. All right, so you need to pick the flash drive from the list. So if you have more than one, make sure you select the right one because everything on it's going to be wiped. All right, so now we're going to have to choose our ISO image file that we downloaded. So we're going to have to browse to that right here. All right, you can see it gives it a volume label of Win10 XPE, so that's fine, or you could change it to whatever you want. All right, so here you need to change it to MBR or GPT, depending on your computer. We're going to leave it on GPT because this is a newer computer here. And then we have UEFI for the option here for GPT. And then MBR, we have the BIOS option. Then everything else should be okay to leave as default. Then you just want to click on Start, and then the green bar will go across. And when it's solid green all the way across, it'll still say ready, but you'll know that it's done. All right, so I already have this ready. So now I'm going to boot another computer with this flash drive here, and then we'll see how it works. So I'll be right back. All right, loading files. So it looks like a Windows 11 logo here, but it's actually not booting into Windows. All right, so switch to administrator. So we're going to say yes, and you pretty much always want to do that just to make sure you could run every tool on here. Okay, so we have our scrunched up looking desktop image here. All right, so you'd have to pick your network connection there if you still wanted to connect to the network. I didn't click on it in time, but we're not worried about that for now. All right, and you can see we do have our network connection here. Swap hardware, keyboard options, display options, remove media, mouse keys. Date and time may not be correct. We have File Explorer down here if you want to browse the contents of your drives. So the drive letters may not match up. This one does in this case here, at least for the C drive here. Then we have a browser, we have a command prompt. We have the little start button here. So you may notice on a lot of these apps that they have a listing of the apps here, and then you have some stuff on the desktop as well. So you may find some stuff on the desktop that is not included in these other apps here. All right, so let's kind of check out some of the ones on the desktop real quick, and then we'll check out the other ones in the menu. So you could say we have the similar ones with the Firefox and the command prompt. You could do this Windows installer. So if you run this and cancel it, you're going to have to restart the computer. So I'm not going to actually do this, but you could start a Windows installation there. You could even run Why Not Win 11 to see if your computer is compatible with Windows 11. System recovery, network settings. Another way to get to your files here, like a My Computer. Change your theme you don't care about. Crystal Disk Info, and so on. All right, so let's click on the Start menu here. So we have a search box, shutdown options, even the control panel. Favorites, not going to worry about. Downloads and administrator, we're not going to worry about. All right, so we want to go to all programs here. So we're just going to quickly go through the categories here so you can see what tools are on each one. And then if you watch some of our other videos, you could compare with the tools in those other apps. All right, accessibility, you're probably not too concerned about. Same with accessories, unless you need the calculator for something. Apps, Near Launcher, for example. PowerShell. We have our file tasks, so everything's nice to have. That's a common one in these tools. Even has Rufus if you need to make some other flash drives from here. Hard drive tasks. So boot ice is another flash drive creation utility. We have a check disk. Defraggler is not going to really be something you're going to use. If you want to wipe the disk, you could do that. Macro and Reflect, which you've seen before, most likely. So this is version 8, which is still the free version. So if you need to restore a backup, for example. Need to manage your partitions, you could do that. All right, hardware info. So a lot of the common ones here, CPU-Z, core temp, even GPU-Z, HW info and monitor, some memory testers. Specky is another nice one if you just want to check out your hardware from there. Which tree is nice in case you want to see what's using up all the space on your drive. Right, multimedia, maybe not something super useful. Network tools, these might come in handy. AnyDesk, for example. Nmap, remote desktop, TeamViewer, WinSCP, even Wireshark if you want to do some advanced networking things. Office stuff, probably not. OpenVPN, probably not. Recovery options here. Even Recover, which is the same company that makes Specky. Test disk. Regedit, that definitely will come in handy. And we even have remote Regedit. Security apps here. Password reset. Show Key Plus if you want to find your Windows keys. Windows Login Unlocker. So just keep in mind, a lot of these password reset and unlocker tools will work for local accounts, but most likely not for Microsoft accounts since that's tied to Microsoft itself. All right, then we have Startup, which is empty, which is normal here. System tools, so auto runs, that's a nice one there. Command prompt, DirectX Diagnostics, DISM++. Regedit again, process monitor, system recovery. All right, then we have some tweaks here, may or may not be useful. Then we have some Windows tools, the typical ones that you get within Windows. All right, so you can see there is quite a bit. I will say some of the other ones like the NHV boot and the Metacat might have some extra tools or some better tools, but this is definitely something you could use if you have an older computer that you need to run it on. And of course, you could use something like Ventoy and load all these tools onto one flash drive and then just boot up whichever one you need. All right, then when you're done, just go to the Start button here, do a restart or shutdown, and then you're back in Windows, assuming your fix worked. And if not, then you'll have to come back and try something else. All right, so I will put a link in the description where you could download the Malekal a live USB ISO file, and then you can make your own flash drive and try it out for yourself. All right, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe.